Oh,
Hello, everyone. Welcome back to the podcast. Today's episode, I'm joined with Josie, and we're going to be speaking about epilepsy. Josie knows a bit more about epilepsy than me, of course. But this episode is the only episode of February. Um, by the time we get into March, hopefully there'll be more episodes. But we're just getting to start the year, where we don't have many. So Josie is the only one coming out in February. So Josie, would you mind just telling everyone a little bit about yourself, doing a little introduction?
okay. Well, hi everyone. I'm Josie. I'm from New Jersey, here in the United States. I have had epilepsy since I was 16. I am about to be 30 this year in a couple of months. I am a children's book author, and I have been advocating for epilepsy since about 2020, so almost 5 years now. And I have connected with people from all over the world. And I love sharing my story with others because I feel that makes us feel less alone.
Yeah,
Yes,
that is really good that you love just to share your story with different people.
yes.
So in your book, is it just all about like your journey with epilepsy? Is that where it's?
Well, yes, it's my children's books. They're about a kitten with epilepsy. And yes, he's basically having an aura and he's looking for comfort from his parents while he's experiencing the episode.
Okay.
Yes. And then I also have my second book, which is called Lucky's First EEG. And he's going through the process and he's talking about the steps of what it's like to go through the procedures.
Ooh.
Yes.
It's good though, there's children's books because we find, especially when you grow up, you don't get taught as much about this kind of stuff. So it's good that it starts from the children, so then when they're older, they're going to understand.
Exactly. Yes. I mean, I feel like the younger you are to actually understand this condition, the better.
Yes.
Yes, because I honestly was so lost and confused when I was first diagnosed. I feel like we don't ask the right questions when we're diagnosed, especially we're confused as to what's going on. We don't understand this condition and we're given medication right away, which gives us side effects. And yeah, it's a lot to deal with.
Yeah.
Yeah, so yeah,
Quite
those
tough.
the books help.
Yeah. And how long do you think one book, like a book, took to kind of write and do?
Um, well, it didn't. Well, the storyline for the book came to me out of nowhere when I was about to go to sleep one night, and I just started typing it on my phone. I was like, oh my God, I have to write this down because it literally just came to me out of nowhere. And then getting the illustrations itself didn't take that long. It took actually like maybe it took a few days, maybe like a little over two, maybe of 2 weeks or something that I can remember. While I was asking the illustrator what I wanted for each page, as I went with the storyline of what I had written down before. And honestly, I think from the moment I wrote everything down for the book to the time that I got everything like together, the pages, it might have been maybe a month that I can remember.
Oh.
Because yes, I think yeah, because it's about to be yeah, it's been almost 3 years since I published the first one. And I can remember maybe it was about a month since I got everything put together. Maybe like a month and a half. And it wasn't, yeah, that's how it went. The storyline came to me out of nowhere. I was like, I always wanted a children's book since I was little. And I'm like, this is it. I'm gonna use my own experience with epilepsy, use a cute little character, a cat, and go with it.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, so it's good though. It's a good way to do it. So as it's a children's book, it will have different pictures, will it, of like the cat in it.
Yes. Yes. Yeah, that's how that went for me.
Mm.
Like once you have an idea and you feel good about it, just go with it, you know?
Go with your instinct.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yes.
And just as one night before you, like, one night you was going to bed and you thought, I'll just do it. I'll just write it in my notes on my phone.
Yep, that's exactly how it went. Literally.
Yeah. So you was diagnosed with epilepsy when you was 16.
Yes, I was 16. I had my first seizure a few months before at 15. And when I had the second one and I was officially diagnosed, I was 16.
Okay. Yeah.
Yes.
And is each seizure different, would you find, when you have them?
Well, they did start changing over time because I started having grand mal seizures. Yes, and that's how well, I can say I want to say the first five that I maybe had were like that. They were like really, really bad. And after that, they started changing. I will have a lot of focal seizures, and they were progressively just changing over time. I don't know if that's just because of the medication or just me understanding the condition more and what it was that was what were my triggers over time, you know? So yeah, they start changing for me.
Okay.
Yes.
Yeah, it's interesting, isn't it? Because
Hmm.
like that happens.
How are
Like
they for you though? How?
well, I don't have the seizures, but because with my autism, I would say
Mhm.
I get affected by certain. Even though I don't have epilepsy, I don't like the flicking of light
Okay.
anyway. Uh,
Okay.
but when I was diagnosed, I was supposed to have epilepsy. It was down for me to have, but for some reason I never did. Uh,
Okay. So how were you, what do you mean you were supposed to have them?
like
They said
they
you were
said,
supposed to?
yeah, they said because of my autism, I was going
Mhm.
to have epilepsy as well, but I never did.
Okay. Wow.
So I didn't.
Okay then. Got it. Okay. Oh, wow. That's interesting how they say you were supposed to, but it never happened.
Yeah, I know. It's crazy, like how that happened
Mm-hmm.
because like even like I guess stimming, like that's what they say.
Yes.
It's stimming, so I will not like the flicking of lights.
Yes.
And I don't know if that's because
Yeah.
like
I've never
I
like
don't know why.
I've never liked lights in my face ever since I was little. Never.
Yeah,
Yes. So
like
I totally get that.
there's a what they call the arcades you go to with the cat with the 2p machines.
Mm-hmm.
They changed it near where I live, one of them, and they just made it like a light mania, basically, where just all the lights are flicking on and off all the time.
Oh, wow.
And I couldn't like it. It's horrible. Even if you even if you don't have epilepsy, um, stuff like that, it's horrible. But I have lights, right? Because the room I'm in right now is the gaming room. Um, and like this here, or this like where the dog is. You see where the dog is behind me? That's a
Okay.
light, and it's like an LED light. And if I want it to, it could go on and off, like we don't like. But
Mm-hmm.
I keep it like that because I prefer it, and I just find it hurts my eyes if it goes on and off.
Yes. It's very bothersome.
Yeah,
I guess.
yeah.
Hmm.
But what would you say, like, I guess to someone who doesn't know what epilepsy is, like, how would you kind of explain it to them if, like, no one knows about it?
Well, I will tell them that epilepsy is a condition of the nervous system. And our nervous system plays a huge part in how we feel, because we can literally be thinking something and it can trigger. We can't be anxious. Anxiety, we can't be overwhelmed. So we have to try our best to, be calm. And also our nervous system also plays a huge part in, what we think. And our nerves are literally all over our body.
Yeah.
And if we feel too hot, that's not good. That's crazy that even being hot is a trigger,
Oh,
right? And just we have to learn how to just, epilepsy, oh my God, it's like so much. People don't, they literally don't understand that our nervous system plays a huge part in our whole body. It like literally intertwines with every other body system,
yeah.
right? Mm-hmm.
It's it's interesting that you say like about so say if you're really hot,
Mm-hmm.
does that make you more that you could have a seizure? Is that what could
I
impact it?
have I have experienced a seizure from being too hot. I have.
And is that is that like is the hotness around your body temperature or is it say you're out in the sun?
I would have to say it could because it could be triggered by a high fever, so it could be actually both.
Okay, both.
Yeah.
So would you say you would avoid, say if you went swimming, you would avoid going in the sauna because that's quite hot in there.
Yes, like I feel like if you're in a sauna, you will have to know how long to last in there.
Yes.
You can't overdo it, you know?
And I've been in a sauna a few times and I don't like it. I found it hard to breathe in a
Yeah.
sauna because the heat.
Yeah, and that also plays a part in how your nerves contribute to the other body parts as well.
Yeah,
Hmm.
it's horrible feeling
It
sauna.
it doesn't the sauna. I'll probably go in a sauna and I'll probably won't I wouldn't last that long in there. I would it's
Couple
too
seconds.
yes, it's too much.
I mean,
Hmm.
I don't really see the point of it really because it just makes you hot and
I mean, it has its benefits, but not everyone can. Not everybody can handle the heat like that.
yeah, yeah, I know
Right.
what you mean.
Mm-hmm.
So,
Yes.
so that's one of your causes, or the heat. So would you say the cold is good then? Is it good to have be cold?
Yeah, but not too cold, not extremely cold, Because I mean, I don't know if anyone has ever had a seizure from being too cold. Because I don't know if anyone's ever like lasted that long outside where they, you know,
Yeah,
have, because obviously if you're too cold, that can also affect you.
yeah. I I know we talked about this before, and you didn't say impact it, but say you ate a really hot food,
Hmm.
would that impact your body temperature because you've eaten something really hot?
I wouldn't say that would, because that's a different kind of sensation,
Yeah,
you know. That's definitely a different kind of sensation. Um, I feel like that would just make your tongue really
yeah,
hot, you know?
yeah. Do
Yeah.
do you like hot food? then?
I do. I like spicy.
Yeah,
I like spicy food.
yeah,
Yes, I do.
yeah. Nice.
Hmm.
Um, yeah, so you have to be really careful, I guess, what you do and like in a hot environment. So you're more, so because of that, would you say you more want to enjoy the winter time because it's colder than, let's say, the summer when it's hot?
I mean, yeah, I try to enjoy both for sure, but I do like the winter. If it's too cold, I won't go out as much because it's just too much. It's
Yeah, it's too cold.
exactly. It's too cold. I mean, and then I do like the summer when it's hot because you could cool off with like being in some kind of water, but it's also you do have to be careful if you're in a pool, but as long as you're, with people. And because I like being in water. I do like the pool. I like the beach. Um, I mean, as long as you're there with people and not by yourself, because you never know what can happen.
Yeah,
Um, but yeah, I mean, I do like, yeah, I do enjoy being out in the sun when it's summer, but I'm not gonna be out if I know it's gonna be like super hot than what it's supposed to be.
yeah,
Um, but I mean, I do enjoy tanning. But if I know I can't be out there just if I know if I feel too hot, I feel like I'm gonna avoid being out in the sun. I'm gonna find some kind of, shade somewhere or
yeah.
go outside. Yeah.
Like
Hmm.
I like in my experience, I have to kind of avoid some aspects of the sun too, because kind of Crohn's. Um, certain medication I take makes me that I could get skin cancer, so I have to take certain sun cream. I have to
Right.
stay out. It's not good for me to stay out for the sun too long. So
Okay.
for those reasons, if I was outside, I would be careful how long I'm out there for. I bet like you, but in just a different way.
No, yeah, that for sure. You definitely have to be careful to not get burnt or
Yeah,
like you definitely put your sunscreen on because if not, I know I get that.
yeah,
I get burnt easily.
yeah. It looks painful when people get burned.
Yeah, it is painful. It can be.
Yeah, and then but you get people out there that you say you're gonna put sun cream on, they're like, no. Like you just get loads of people out there that say that, don't you?
Yeah, I don't know why they would avoid doing that. I don't get it.
Don't know. It's a bit weird, isn't it?
Yes, very, very weird.
Um,
Hmm.
but yeah, it's interesting. It is interesting, kind of talking about it because although other things may be are impacted by the sun, for example, by there's so many different conditions out there that can be impacted by one thing.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, for sure.
yeah.
We have
So,
to.
so with like medication for epilepsy, what is the medication supposed to help with the epilepsy, would you say?
Well, it's definitely supposed to avoid us having a seizure because basically our bodies are dependent on
Yeah,
the medication at this point. Once you start the medication, that's it. Your body is dependent on them. Yeah,
yeah,
because my also a trigger for me at this point is missed medication.
yeah,
Mm. Yeah, so I cannot afford to miss my medication, basically, because uh, forget it. I will not feel good. No,
yeah. Do
nope.
being on the medication
Hmm.
for you, how has that lowered? Like, so can you still have a seizure with being on the medication at all?
Without being on it.
Like when you're on it.
Um, well, I can have maybe like a really severe like aura, like a focal seizure, or feel very weak if I feel like if I missed my medication, maybe even not even for a day, but maybe let's say I forget it a day, and or I go do something like okay, so it affects us women differently. So I can be maybe, let's say my period is coming.
Yeah.
I forgot to take my medication one day. I will feel really sick and lightheaded one day, and I feel like I have a very strong focal seizure. I just feel out of it
Yeah.
just because I missed my medication, and I go and do something that I'm not supposed, no, not supposed to, but like let's say I try working out that one day that I forgot to take my medication, and my period's about to come. Like that right there will completely throw me off for the day.
Yeah, it might you not be in a very good mood for the rest
Yes,
of the day.
yes, because I overwhelmed myself, basically.
Yeah. So
Mm.
would you say stress impacts
Yeah,
anything?
yeah. For me, oh my God, stress is a huge, huge trigger.
Yeah.
My goodness, it's a big one for me. I can't be overwhelmed.
Yeah.
No.
How do you how would you help? Because you can't. It's hard, tough one, isn't it? Stress because you can't really choose when you're stressed and when you're not.
Hello?
Hello.
What happened? We're back?
Yeah, we're back. This happens every time.
Oh,
I
okay.
promise. So it kicks me out all the time.
Oh my goodness. Why?
It
Why
doesn't
does it
like me.
make you cry? Oh no, not cool. That's
But
not cool.
don't worry. It happens all the time. I mean, the other week it happened, and I was thinking I was speaking to someone, and I was thinking we got to reschedule this, and then it worked. It worked. So
Okay.
yeah.
All right.
What were we speaking about?
We're talking about stress.
Oh, your stress. Yeah.
Yeah.
Stress. Yeah, stress doesn't help, does it?
No, it doesn't at all. Um, yeah, I tried my best to not stress myself out at all. I like try to let things go as much as I could. Um, and yeah, I can't stress myself out at all.
Yeah.
I can't be overwhelmed. It's hard not to be though. Sometimes life is just it's a lot.
Yeah. Yeah.
Mhm.
Like with my Crohn's, stress causes pain.
What?
Stress causes pain. So like it can cause pain, like abdominal pain.
Yeah.
Um. So it's hard not to be stressed about something. So you try, like these, they try and let things go.
Right. Yeah. No, for sure. We stress is what they say, a silent killer or something like that. That's what they say.
Yeah.
But no, I feel like it's that this day and age in society, people just try to do too much.
It's true.
As people try to do, they put more eggs in their basket than they need to, and yeah, no, we have to just relax as much as we possibly can, and especially if we know we have a condition that's worse, worsened with stress.
That's right.
It's easier said than done, but it can be done.
Yeah,
It could be done. It
it
could.
can be done,
Yes, it can, for sure.
but it can be hard. Yeah.
Yeah, it could be, but I feel like it can be done.
Yeah.
I feel like it's important how you talk to yourself as well, how you see things, how you perceive things in your own mind.
Yeah. Don't
Hmm.
think of the worst that may happen when it hasn't happened.
Yeah,
Like,
true.
like for example, maybe you got diagnosed with epilepsy. You may not have known what it was. You may knew what it was, but you may not have known. And you may think, oh no, what's going to happen now? Because I've got epilepsy. Um, I'm going to have all these different problems with it. So I think when anyone gets diagnosed with something, no matter what it is, they think of the worst. And you go on the internet probably, you type, what is it?
Yeah.
The bad things. What are the bad things about it? Um, and then yeah, you just overwork yourself, and then yeah, it's tough. It's tough.
That was very new. Any new condition, it was a lot at the moment. Being a teenager, imagine, yeah, it was
Yeah,
very, 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 oh God, it was a lot. But yeah, now I understand it more. Thank God I have met, since I'm connecting with other people, that helped a lot. Yeah, that helped a lot.
talk to different people that have epilepsy too, but share
Mhm.
their own experiences.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, everyone has, oh my God. Everyone has had their own experience because everyone gets diagnosed at different ages. They're put on different medications. They have different triggers. So, yeah.
Yeah. So
Hmm.
the stress is one of them. One of those triggers for you.
Hmm.
So would someone else maybe not get impacted by stress? Do you think? Like maybe someone else has epilepsy.
I can't say because I feel like stress is a big trigger for a majority of people with epilepsy
Yeah.
because basically stress is it starts in our mind if you think about it, right?
Yeah, yeah, it does.
So it starts in our minds, and our mind, that's it. It'll just go off to the rest of the nervous system.
Creates
And
different scenarios.
right, right. So then it'll go from there, and then an episode can happen, and the rest goes. That's it. We'll have a seizure and forget about it.
Yeah, it's
Hmm.
stress. I mean, why do we have stress? We come to think.
What?
Like we think to ourselves, don't we? Like, why does stress exist? Because it maybe causes us more harm than good.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah,
Mm.
if I knew the answer to that, if we knew the answer to that, whoa, oh my God.
Yeah, it's tough. Like,
Hmm.
like, like when a seizure happens, like after it's happened, do you do do you do anything to try and make you feel better? Because you probably don't feel that good after it's happened, or even during it. Like, is there anything that you do after to make, I don't know, steer more or try and do anything to calm you down? Do you do anything like that?
I just stay in bed and lay there and try to sleep it off, basically. Yeah, just try to relax as much as I possibly could.
Okay.
And because that's basically what your body's asking you to do.
Yeah, because
Take it easy.
that's right.
Hmm.
Like, do you like time wise? does each one, from your experience, is there like one could be longer than another one, or one could be shorter than another one?
Yeah, that varies from what triggers it.
Yeah,
I think definitely it varies from what could have caused it to happen. Um, yeah, yeah, because when I first had them, they would last a little bit. They would last a while. Because they first started when I in my sleep when I had my first episodes. And yeah, they would last, I guess, a while. I mean, I wouldn't know because I would wake up and the paramedics were in my room when I first started. Once I had an episode where I was unconscious for a whole day. I blacked out one moment and I woke up the next day in the hospital. So, and then there's the focal seizures where they can last a few moments, you know?
that's yeah. So different depending on what triggers it.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah,
Hmm.
that's interesting. That's
Yeah.
interesting. Like, when was the last time that you'd say you had one?
That I had one.
Yeah.
Well, like a really bad one. I had like maybe a little small focal seizure the other day after a little workout that I did. But it wasn't like I passed out or anything, or I wasn't able to, um, get myself together.
Okay. Like,
Hmm.
I guess you have an idea maybe what could cause it as the older you get, perhaps, and you could do things to identify that. Hang on a minute. It may happen. It may not. I'm put. I like. Do you think it's easier to prepare for it? Maybe predicting that it may happen, but it may not, rather than it happening when you don't know it's going to happen.
Um, well, I can't really, pro well, yeah, it's like you could say it's easier to manage since I feel it's going to happen.
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah,
So, I mean, I haven't had a grand mal in a while. So, yes, it's easier, definitely easier to manage since I feel the sensation of it
yeah.
on.
So with it, is there a limit for how long you are on the medication, or do you have to be on the medication forever, would you say, to manage the epilepsy?
I feel as if I have to have the medication every day.
Yeah.
Yes.
So is it so like how many times a day would you say you take the medication?
I take it once a day.
Once a day.
Yeah.
What is that like when you wake up? Is that when you have it?
I have to have at least something. I have to have ate something to have the medication.
Yeah, that's
Yes.
like me when I have my medication.
Hmm.
Like I have my own pill box, Monday to Sunday, and
Yeah.
then
I
yeah,
don't. I don't have a pill organizer at the moment. I should get one because then I will definitely remember to
yeah.
have taken it every day.
You remember, you
Mm-hmm.
remember.
Yes.
Um, but yeah, Josie, that was it's really interesting to hear. Because
Mhm.
I thought I'd have you on because we followed each other for a little while, and it'd be nice. It was nice to hear because, especially because I said I was supposed to have epilepsy and I didn't. So it's interesting to hear about because like we said before, some people with autism have epilepsy too. Um,
Yeah.
so it's interesting to hear from your experience what it's like for you.
Yeah. I I mean, because it came out of nowhere in my life. And I mean, I've just been sharing my story and I've connected with so many people. I would have never thought that it was going to get to this point.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Brilliant. But
Mhm.
is there anything like maybe anything that you want to say, any advice maybe to anyone else who's maybe just started on their journey? Like, is there anything you would like maybe just say at the end?
Well, well, for sure that they should take the medication every day. Uh, Listen to their neurologists, their doctors. Um, Learn what their triggers are. It'll probably take time, but learn what they are because it varies from person to person. And, don't be afraid to speak up about it.
Yeah.
Don't be afraid to speak up about it and try to find a community, because people will be there for you and you will never be alone on this journey. You aren't the only person being affected by this.
Yeah.
Yes.
That's really good advice. Really
Mhm.
good. But yeah, to anyone who's watching, thanks for watching, and if you relate in some way, um, take on Josie's advice because it's brilliant. But thank you, Josie, for coming on.
And thank you for having me.
My pleasure. And yeah, to anyone listening, watching, come back in the next episode, which will be in March. But yeah, thank you again, Josie, and enjoy the rest of your evening.
Bye.